Welcome to the only honest, ultimate Super Bowl power ranking show. Probably the only Super Bowl power ranking show. I'm Brandon Perna, and yes, let's see if the curse wheel has any juice left. Kyle Juice Check. Now, I used to do these in-depth Broncos predictions where I'd give each key positional group a point, and whichever team accumulated the most points would get the prediction to win the game. So I thought it would be fun to do that for the Super Bowl, and smash it together with power rankings. So no, this is not a who is number one and who is number two power rankings. This is a player-to-player, group-to-group evaluation to prove I still know a little bit about football. And also, here's the kicker. We got individual curses on the wheel today, all right? Pacheco, Moody, Kittle, Mahomes, Butker, CMC. We'll spin this at the end of the episode to see who specifically gets cursed. Let's start with the kickers. We've got 49ers rookie Jake Moody versus Chiefs vet Harrison Butker. Butker finished the season with a 94.3 field goal percentage, and that was on 35 attempts, so he had literally his best season ever when the Chiefs most needed his points. He's also 2 for 2 on field goals of 60 or more yards, all right? He's really the most underrated kicker in the league, in my opinion. Jake Moody, he's a rookie, and rookie kickers struggle a bit. He's 21 of 25, making 84% of his kicks, but he made 60 of 61 extra points, all right? The 49ers scored 61 fucking touchdowns this season, tied with the Dolphins for most in the NFL. Butker, of course, was perfect on extra points, but only had 38 attempts. That is really the highlight of how much the Chiefs' offense underperformed in terms of what we're used to seeing from Kansas City. Trailing San Fran by 23 touchdowns over the course of the season. Butker, though, gets the advantage, +1 Kansas City. Who has the better secondary? Like Harrison Butker, the Chiefs probably have the most underrated secondary in the NFL. I think there are 3 big reasons for this. 1, Patrick Mahomes. It's hard for anyone to get proper credit when your QB is as good as Mahomes. 2, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Again, attention thieves. But most importantly, they don't have a cool nickname like the Broncos did with the no-fly zone, or like the entire Seahawks defense with the Legion of Boom. If they were a coastal team, I would easily call them the Red Sea. Missouri, of course, is landlocked, so maybe the nickname there is the Landlockers. Put that on a t-shirt, you fucks. Now, they also don't have very many interceptions, tied for 3rd fewest in the regular season with just 8. Their turnover differential was actually a terrible -11 this year, meaning they gave the ball away 11 more times than they took it away. The Niners were tied for the most picks with 22, and a very impressive +10 turnover differential, tied for 3rd best. Now, Pro Football Focus actually gives the 49ers a much better overall coverage grade, but a big reason for that is because their linebackers Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw are so good in coverage. So I think the 49ers have the corner who has played better this season in Charvarius Ward, former Chief, who won a Super Bowl against his new team. They also have Diomodor Lenore, who's having a nice second season. They've combined for 5 picks. If Talanoa Hufanga didn't tear his ACL, I would give the better secondary to the Niners. Hufanga and 12-year vet Tashawn Gibson are a dynamic duo, but they are now just one. But one dude who is killing it for Kansas City, safety Justin Reid. He might get criticized for his coverage skills, but he's a playmaker. 4 sacks, 4 picks this season. Furthermore, if Butker gets hurt, there's not a massive drop-off at kicker with Reid on the roster. While Dion Bush and Mike Edwards have postseason picks, Justin Reid, all postseason, just a dude who makes plays. Every game, I'm like, fuck, that was nice. Who was that? Oh, Justin Reid. L'Jarius Sneed made the most impactful play of the entire postseason and has been the unsung hero on that defense all year. Kansas City gets the point, and considering I'm not sold on the Landlocks, I'm going to give them another nickname because they blanket receivers like a skin. So we'll call them the Redskins. Today's episode is sponsored by Ridge.com/thatsgood. I already have a Ridge wallet, so why did I get another one? Well, because they had my NFL team on it. I rode right to Ridge.com and got this Denver Broncos powder-coated wallet. Now, Ridge simplifies your way too thick of a wallet, organizes your keys and everyday carry essentials. Ridge has 30 plus colors to choose from, and every NFL team, including You know who. Oh no, stop torturing me. Leave me alone. Look, Ridge wallets can hold up to 12 cards plus cash while staying incredibly slim. You can fit up to 6 keys in the key case, which for me made me realize I had about 4 keys on my keychain that I did not use or know what they unlocked. Plus, it features RFID blocking materials protecting you from digital thieves. So use my link below. Go to ridge.com/thatsgood to get 10% off now. Ridge has a lifetime warranty, over 80,000 5-star reviews, and a 99-day risk-free trial for you to test it. Ridge.com/thatsgood. It's not a face scrubber. Linebackers, who has the advantage? Honestly, if one group deserves a tie, it's the linebackers. Fred Warner is the best linebacker in the game. Dre Greenlaw has really developed into a stud, and Oren Burks is great as that third piece. Now, Kansas City has the advantage in depth. Willie Gay, Nick Bolton are nearly as good as Warner and Greenlaw. Plus, half tranquilizer, half NyQuil, Drew Tranquil is balling out of his mind. Thanks for nothing, Chargers, you idiots. And Leo Chanel can come on the field in a pinch, which he's had to do this postseason. Willie Gay has battled through a neck injury this postseason, but is ready to go. You know Nick Bosa is going to want to play offense when he sees the word gay on the back of that jersey. While I love the depth Kansas City deploys and how Steve Spagnuolo utilizes his crew, I cannot in good faith say they are better than a Fred Warner-led group. He's that good. Again, this feels like a wash, especially considering the 49ers got worked over the middle by the Lions, but I'll give San Fran the point. Fred Warner can cover Travis Kelce better than any safety in the league. Kelce forces opposing teams to play man. Otherwise, he'll just improv and find a soft spot in the zone, which is incredibly hard to defend. Warner needs to remove Travis from the game and force KC to beat you with MVS and Rice. Defensive line / edge, who has the advantage? Who do you love more, Chris Jones or Nick Bosa? That's what this really comes down to, right? Two dudes on those defensive lines who wreak havoc from different positions. Jones from the interior, Bosa from the edge. Bosa has 110 pressures this season. Jones has 85. Bosa has 15 this postseason. Jones has 10 and has played in an extra game. Plus, Chris Jones is playing through some sort of knee issue. Unfortunately for Kansas City, they lost another edge guy in Charles Omenihu to an ACL tear. He and George Karlaftis were becoming a very nice edging duo, just ready to bust onto the national scene. I actually think Karlaftis will have more sacks in this game than Nick Bosa. Bosa will generate more pressures, but Karlaftis has had a really nice postseason. But from top to bottom, San Fran has the better defensive line. Javon Kinlaw, who does practice family law right next door to Dre Greenlaw's climate law firm, is pretty good. Totally forgot Javon Hargrave was on that line. And of course, you have Eric Armstead. One guy I am concerned about is Chase Young. He made a splash right after the 49ers traded for him. 1.5 sacks in his first 2 games, but since then, nothing much. And we all remember his low effort play against the Lions. Like, what does Chase Young do particularly well? It's supposed to be get sacks. And if he doesn't make his presence known in this game, he's also going to cost himself a lot of money in free agency. Whoever plays opposite Bosa should be feasting on quarterbacks. 49ers get the point, but only due to having a higher ceiling, because you also have a lower floor, San Francisco. Offensive line, who has the advantage? I thought KC losing Joe Thuney on their offensive line would impact the game against the Ravens. Guess what? It did not. The 49ers are a better run-blocking team with the best tackle in the game in Trent Williams, but the Chiefs are quite a bit better in pass protection, aided by the slipperiest flabby QB in the league. Creed Humphrey is, in my opinion, the best center in the league, not Jason Kelce. The Chiefs get the advantage here. Even if Jawan Taylor false starts 9 times, if the 49ers stick to running, then I give them the nod, but we watched the Ravens abandon that after 5 seconds. The Chiefs' line doesn't have to be perfect because of what Mahomes can do off script, and to me, that's a big advantage. The Chiefs' offense allowed 0 sacks in the Super Bowl last year against the team who led the league in that category, so you also have to account for black magic and paying off the groundskeeper. Tight end, who has the advantage? Okay, this is the only battle I'm actually calling a tie. While Travis Kelce remains the greater threat in the receiving game, Kittle could have a huge impact in this game simply by blocking. We know he's the best blocking tight end in the league, who is also a stud when catching passes. If he opens holes for McCaffrey or keeps another George at bay in Karlaftis, his role will be important and understated. I was actually kind of shocked seeing Kittle and Kelce next to each other at Media Day and the massive size advantage of Kelce, but that just makes me love what Kittle does more. Again, tie. Wide receivers, who has the advantage? Well, I have a disgusting feeling the greatest bit of irony might happen in this game. Rashee Rice catches a long pass from Patrick Mahomes late in the fourth quarter, shakes his man, and scores a massive touchdown to give the Chiefs a 4-10 point lead. There will still be time on the clock. It won't feel like the play that ends the game, but ultimately it will be, and the San Francisco 49ers, who once employed the greatest wide receiver in NFL history, will lose after getting burned by Rice. The not-so-San Francisco treat. That said, the 49ers have a better group of ball catchers. I love what Rashee Rice is doing, how he's developing, but next year feels like his real breakout season. Brandon Aiyuk had 1,300 yards this season, but has yet to catch more than 3 passes in a game in the postseason, and only 2 in the last game that hit his hands before the defender's face, but they're usually for big gains. I want to see him get 6 to 8 receptions. Jawan Jennings, great number 3, and Deebo Samuel, in my opinion, is the ultimate X factor in the receiving game. In Super Bowl 54, Deebo had 53 yards on 3 end-arounds, so look for the Niners to try that shit again. He doesn't have a receiving touchdown this postseason, and that will change. Kadarius Toney, while he was huge in the last Super Bowl, I feel like if anyone is going to make a mistake, it's Toney. +1, advantage for the Niners. Running backs. All right, this is fun. You've got fantasy king Christian McCaffrey versus football nerd king Isiah Pacheco. Hardcore football fans loved Isiah Pacheco since last preseason, and he's been instrumental in keeping Kansas City alive this postseason. He doesn't rip the big plays like Run CMC, but he wears down the defense. He's like a slim Marshawn Lynch. He's hard to tackle, and I swear to God, I have never once seen him go down at the first point of contact. Put simply, he keeps drives alive. He also runs like he keeps people alive in his basement. That said, there's not a back in the NFL better than Christian McCaffrey right now. Over 2,000 scrimmage yards this year. His vision is unparalleled. 67 receptions out of the backfield. 5.4 yards per carry this season, which is his best ever. He's literally the most important player on the 49ers for this game. Another name for that is MVP, but we know that's not happening. Plus, I like Elijah Mitchell behind him and how the 49ers use Deebo Samuel in the run game. Andy Reid would trade Hardman, Toney, Sky Moore, and probably Chris Jones to get Deebo on his offense. But overall, McCaffrey, advantage. Head coaches. Andy Reid's the better head coach. He has 2 Super Bowl wins. Kyle has 1 loss as a head coach and 1 offensive collapse that led to the worst conclusion to a Super Bowl I have ever seen. Kyle is Andy Reid before Andy Reid got Patrick Mahomes. A great coach who can't win the big one. Kyle is certainly as good as Andy on many levels, but until he gets the dub, he can't be counted on this big stage. You also have to respect Andy Reid for getting the Chiefs to make him a custom Hawaiian shirt for Media Day. He knows big man fashion as well as he knows his playbook. Advantage, KC. And here we go, the quarterbacks. The 49ers are the underdogs, guys. Do not be fooled. Mahomes is the first quarterback to go to 4 Super Bowls under the age of 30. Insane. He's also the first QB to get to the Super Bowl while seeing his brother, his father, and his team's #1 fan get arrested in the same 365-day period. My point, nothing shakes him. It is 100% on the 49ers to do something in this game, to play perfect, to make the game-changing play. Patrick Mahomes is not going to fuck this up. After throwing 4 picks in his first 2 Super Bowl appearances, Mahomes played close to perfect last year against Philly. Kansas City may not tire out the scoreboard operator's finger, but they're going to move the ball, take advantage of every mistake San Francisco makes, and shift field position like they did against the Ravens if that's what the game calls for. Therefore, if they get an early lead, they also will not blow it like the Packers or Lions. You can credit San Francisco for fighting back in those games, but they've also been the luckier team this postseason. I love Brock Purdy. I think he's easily a top 10 quarterback in the league and maybe a top 5 guy. Yes, he has better weapons right now, but Mahomes hasn't turned the ball over this entire postseason, and that's with an extra game played. Mahomes has faced better defenses this postseason in the Ravens and even the banged up Bills. Brock is going to make a mistake, and while I believe he's got the composure to bounce back from that mistake, based on the evidence of the Lions game, I don't believe that against a Spagnuolo-led defense. Spags took down Brady in the biggest games in Brady's prime. The windows for big plays in the passing game will be small for the 49ers. The same will be true for the Chiefs, but Mahomes is a proven small window guy, as opposed to a no window guy, like his brother and dad. Advantage Kansas City. So the Chiefs have 5 total points. The 49ers, 4. My official power rankings. 49ers are 2. The Chiefs are 1. And now let's see who is going to be cursed. And the final curse spin for this season is the spin a sin. Will you do something dirty, you little slut? You little slut wheel? Who are you cursing? Oh, no! Oh, poor Jake Moody. Oh, you're gonna miss the field goal. Fuck, Jake. I am sorry. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. If you don't subscribe, I don't survive. I will literally die, metaphorically.